What is up, Entree fam? Welcome back to another Friday live helpcast with me, your hostess with the mostess, Diana Gladney. On this channel, I help you simplify the video creation process. So that is covering whether, tech tips and things like we'll be diving into today, as well as some video marketing tips and answering your specific questions here on the Friday live helpcast. All of those things are here on the channel, so definitely consider subscribing if you're new here. If you're a regular here, welcome back to the regular weekly Friday live helpcast. So today I have some ideas around some things that we should be discussing and covering, because there's a lot of industry news as far as cameras and things like that specific to the Canon M50 cameras and whether or not those are going to be continuing. Some rumors around the new Canon M50 Mark II, as well as a new kind of Canon camera that'll come along that same mount. In addition to Sony's potentially dropping a new camera. And so with that being said, there are some other things also happening, which I want to bring your attention to. Okay, some different things that I have going on in my space. So whether you're watching this live on the replay, thanks for being here. Thanks for your time and attention, and some things that I think will add value if you love the kind of content and you would love to dive deeper into the video marketing side of things. And so I have an upcoming talk with social media. If you're familiar with Social Media Marketing World, Social Media Examiner, it's that same company. And so they are hosting a YouTube marketing summit. And so this is not going to be talking about tech and things like that, like I tend to do here on the channel. This is specifically going to be covering marketing. And so this marketing summit is happening starting from September 28th through October the 2nd. And there is a ton of details here. You can go to, I'll put a link where you can access that later in the description, or you can go up here, socialmediaexaminer.com/YT Summit. And so this is happening very, very soon. The tickets are selling out. Needless to say. And so this all started with the gracious host that we have here, Michael Stelzner, who started it all. And this is one of the biggest, like if you ever heard of Social Media Marketing World, this is that same company and organization. So we would have been there, but we're doing this differently. So if you scroll down that wonderful page, you will see plenty of experts and other people that you're familiar with seeing, from Tim Schmoyer to Daryl Eves, Vanessa Lau, and on and on and on. And if you keep scrolling down, you will see somebody that looks a little similar to me, who I'm going to be talking about how to use YouTube live streams to grow your business. And I could tell y'all, this is going to be some of the best content specifically around this topic that I've done. Yes, I've talked about live streaming and growing your business using that. But if you really are an entrepreneur and you're considering moving things more into the digital space and in a different way, maybe you've been kind of dabbling, trying to play along with getting things together, I could tell you this training is absolutely going to be amazing. In addition to another talk that I have coming up with Brand Tech Day. You can go to brandtechday.com. That is with Atlanta's actual, Atlanta, it's tip of my tongue. Oh, goodness, might as well just read the page or something. It's like and it's like I've been saying it all daggone day. But either way, it's through Atlanta's Black Chamber of Commerce. My goodness me. Atlanta's Black Chamber of Commerce. So I'll be doing a talk at their Brand Tech Day. And so this is happening on October the 10th. It's going to be, this one I believe is free, I think. But you scroll down that page, you will also see, again, somebody that you know. And I'm going to be doing a YouTube workshop specifically. Again, this is for business-minded entrepreneurs that are going to be shifting into online video and things like that. And I think that those will be extremely valuable to you. So I'll put those links if you want to check those out a little bit later in the description or after the live stream. So let's go through the chat. We got Alan Jones here saying hello. Hi from Alan and Kim, I think. Good to see you, Alan. Glad that you are here. And got a super sticker. Hey, thank you so much from the Miss Yo-Yo Show, saying character flying in the air with a red cape and a smile on his face. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Saying thank you. You have helped me tremendously. Well, I am so glad that I have been of value and service to you, and hopefully I can continue to do so. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. K-Walk Comedy saying, hello, Diana, no excuses, although now you're stepping on income stream time. I believe that's Pat Flynn's income stream. Hey, man, this is an equal opportunity live streaming platform on YouTube, okay? Because I know it's different Saturday shows that happen and stuff like that. And plus, Pat streams every day, okay? Literally for like the past 100 and something days. So, I mean, you got to choose. Is it me or is it going to be Pat? All right? No, just kidding. Pat's a cool dude. So Dr. ELO saying, hey, Diana, happy Friday, y'all. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Good to see you. Glad that you are here. Let's see here. Saying Miss Eileen in the stream saying, congrats, Diana. Well, thank you so much, Miss Eileen. I appreciate that. And we have hold on. We have not even started right yet. And y'all starting stuff in the chat already. Where are the moderators that I've hired, that I don't pay, that are free, and you're still a moderator, okay? Where are the moderators at to handle these spammy comments, okay? And I'll show you what kind of spammy comment we're getting here, because you know what's the graphic is coming up on the screen. This one, not for Miss Eileen, but for this, okay? Hey, all chocolate lovers. You got to put white chocolate lovers, okay? Nicole Dre, you have to put white chocolate lovers, okay? I'm going to tell you something. Good to see you. Glad you're here. I'm just kidding. I'll tell y'all something. I got, what was it, like last weekend or something was my birthday? I can't even remember the days. And so, was my birthday, and I cannot tell you how much white chocolate I have. I still cannot. I enjoy white chocolate. I cannot eat all of the white chocolate that I got. I'm just like, I still got that candy on the table. So it's just been amazing. I also hit 8,000 subscribers. So thank you, everybody. And I'm glad that you guys are enjoying the content here. You're subscribing and enjoying and sticking around. So let's get to the first question that we have here. Wait, before I bring that on the screen. Just so y'all know, you can always feel free to join the live stream. You can always go to Diana.link/join and get your questions. We can get them answered in the chat, but you can also hop on live if you want to, in addition to using the new Ecamm Live feature, the guest feature that is unreleased. So help me if one more person asks me, when is it coming out? I don't know. It's not like I'm hiding the details. I don't know. They haven't told us anything. There is no secret that it's like, you could tell us. I got people DMing me like on Facebook, on Instagram, like, so, hey, I know you've been trying this out, and I know you kind of cool with the people. Like, tell me, like, you can tell me. I won't tell nobody. It's like, we don't know. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know if it's going to be on the standard or the pro plan, or the standard or the pro plan. We don't know what all is going to be included by the time it actually releases. I can only tell you what I'm testing and show you what we have thus far. We don't know when it's coming out. We don't know if it's going to be on the standard or the pro. So it is what it is. And I don't know when it's coming out. If one more person asks me, I'm throwing dark chocolate at your front door, okay? Hack into a system, find your address, and throw dark chocolate at your front door. Okay, so we have a first question on the screen saying, any thoughts on an affordable teleprompter? Actually, there's quite a few affordable teleprompters on the market, and that's something that's become very, very interesting over the last several years, is because teleprompters is one of those things that used to cost a ton, and I mean a ton of money. Now they don't, and so it's really about if you want to use something that is for your phone, because you can type your script and put that on the screen and have that, and then sit it right under your camera lens and however it's hooked up. And then you're reading off of your phone. So they have really small ones. And then they have ones that are, that you can use for your tablet. So whether you're probably on an Android, or if you're on some kind of an iTablet or iDevice, then you can do that. One company that I've always enjoyed, let's go over to Amazon, is the Parrot teleprompter. I think that those are amazing because they come in a lot of different sizes, and you can see how affordable it is at just $100, and probably a little bit more than that if you wanted to get something that maybe had, well, usually it's just kind of like the way that those are, it's just kind of positioned around the lens. It's not a whole lot of weight either, because it's usually a cloth, so it's blocking out the light, like a little drawstring and all that. And you have that plastic piece that's holding the glass element and all of that stuff. But really, really affordable. For about $99, you can get other accessories, depending, I guess, on what the lens and stuff like that. But the one starting for the iPhone, which is probably the easiest to get started with, is the Parrot one. And there are a couple other brands that I can't think of. We need to turn off the white chocolate thing. I always forget. But yeah, that's the one that I would that comes to mind. That I know it's another one by a company called ICAN. They have some. Those are a little bit more expensive, as you can see, just so we can have some comparison sake here. We have the ICAN teleprompters. Now, this is like heavy duty. It's like on, reels and just like rods and all that stuff. And those can be pretty expensive. However, depending on what you're trying to do if it's just you at home, then the other one. If you're trying to get like uber professional and to the point to where you're maybe needing to use this for clients or something else, I would consider something like that. But that's what I would say far as a teleprompter is concerned. But honestly, I don't know how much of this I've really shared. I really don't believe in using teleprompters like that. I think that they are okay. I just don't think that it's necessary most of the time. Sometimes it is, and this is, again, just my personal opinion. This is not what you should or shouldn't do, and this is just like general thoughts on the issue. But I think that if you aren't comfortable on camera, adding a script to it isn't going to make you more comfortable. It's only really, though, and it does definitely come in handy at times if you're trying to specifically say something a certain way, and it's like something that that discomfort will pay back to you in dividends, so to speak. Like it's a course that you're selling. It's a $9.97 course. And that course, like getting these things right, saying how you're positioning the offer and those things matter, then, I can see that being of importance. Otherwise, it's like, I think it's more beneficial for most people to get used to looking straight on with the lens, being able to competently and comfortably share your thoughts and your ideas, because I already know a lot of the talks and stuff that I have done this year, that I'm planning this year, that are coming up. It's still a big deal online, but it's like, what happens when we transition back to in person? You don't have a bullet point or whatever to carry. You have to know your stuff. You may have your slides, and then you have to move on. Again, this is just my thinking on it. It's like, it is an interesting dynamic to add. I just don't think it's something to get too comfortable with. But those are the options that I think of. And then, hey, everybody say happy belated birthday to the Miss Yo-Yo Show, saying her birthday was on August 20th. Okay, so we're only 9 days apart. Mine was August 29th. Saying congrats on 8K. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And Kodre saying congrats on 8K. Thank you so much. Thank you. Whoop, whoop. In his house. Alicia Way saying we live. Indeed we are, sir. Good to see you. Glad you're here. You have Kathy in the house saying happy Friday. Happy Friday to you as well, Kathy. In addition to Miss Felicia saying hello. Good to see you. Glad that you are here. So for this next little segment here, we'll try to do somewhat of a transition. I wanted to discuss some of the new cameras that are coming out, because I cover those different kinds of cameras even right now. Got the ZV-1 back in the house. I'm still not able to pull the trigger on this thing, just for whatever reason. I like it, but at the same time, it's just like I can't see me really using it. It's a want, but it would be an expensive want, where it's like, well, if I want another camera, why not just get another A6600, which is what I really want? Because then, again, I'm going to buy it either way, another A6600. But my whole thing is like, it's like, if I needed to vlog or wanted to vlog, I would do it with what I have. Most people would kill to have some of the gear that I have, you know what I'm saying? And I'll hashtag all the things. And so they just need to get the one camera. They're working to get the one. And it's like, we kind of get spoiled. And it's just like, because you may be able to. And so it's just like, I don't need to buy something for vlogging. I do want to do some more videos with it. And I did want to make sure it's like, it's like, do I really want this or not? That's why I went ahead and got it again. I'm like, do I want this? And the honest answer is like, I do, but I know I'm not going to use it. I've done that too many times before. I promise you I'm in the double digits of owning cameras and not just crossing over into like 10, 11. I'm at like 16 cameras that I've owned. And I'm not talking about cheap ones. They're like 500 plus for sure. And it's just like, So when it comes to cameras, and the guys, again, feel free to continue to drop your questions in the chat. I always get to those. I just want to cover some industry news type deals real quick, because I think that it is important, as much as I cover camera gear and equipment and stuff, for us to kind of at least dialogue about that a little bit, just to kind of let you know my thoughts on it, because stuff does happen and people ask questions about it. So first things first is about whether or not Canon is talking about canceling altogether their EOS M lineup, which is the Canon M6, the Canon M50. Like those cameras, they'll probably continue to support those for a couple years, but it's just a matter of, do they want to keep doing it or not? Do they want to keep bringing out cameras or not? And so the question is kind of becoming at this point, should they, and do they want to? And so it's a lot of rumors that have come out about this, because you have to think Canon has now they have the regular DSLR lineup. So the 60D, the 80D, the 90D that just came out, which in my opinion was a pointless camera. But, it's like, so you have those cameras that are on one mount. So that's their EF and then EFS lineup for like the 6D Mark II, which are full frame cameras. So the EF and the EFS for those types of cameras respectively on the DSLRs. Then you have other types of mounts that they're coming out with now, which is the RF mount. And so that is the Canon EOS R, the RP, another camera that they're talking about releasing that will be on that framing. And so my thinking initially was like, okay, well, the M50 was an amazing camera. Yes, it sold well. And there are a lot of people that would want a better upgrade to it. And the M6 Mark II wasn't it for them. It was an option to look at, but it's like, yeah, but I want that same flip out to the side kind of a screen when you're talking about just doing videos like this versus, and you can have your microphone on the top and all of that and everything works out great, versus if we're talking about something that's similar to what the M6 and the M6 Mark II was, where it's just a flip up kind of a screen. And so that being the case, it's like, okay, most people want to keep what they have. They like the form factor. And they want still another M50-ish kind of camera, but add some more things to it that honestly the M50 should have had all the way to begin with. So a lot of rumors talking about that, and some new, it's not really out as far as the details and the rumors being good to talk about yet, but they do on canonrumors.com, and you can check this out if you're interested. It's like C1 through CR. And so it's about at that halfway point. Like, it's like, it's a rumor, but like, we don't know how true it is, about an M50 Mark II coming out. And I think this would be interesting, because what would the M50 Mark II have, or what should it have, if it's supposed to be coming out around holiday, time frame this year? So looking at the last quarter of this year, if the M50 Mark II was going to come out, what would it be? I think it should have all the things that the M50 originally should have had, 1080p, 120 frames per second, clean HDMI out, obviously, with the way things are right now. And I just think that we are at a place to where they shouldn't probably play around, because you got cameras like this that plenty of people picked up because it's nice and it's fun and it's interesting and it's lightweight, and you could use it for Instagram like this, or you could hold it like this. And you know what I'm saying? It's like something not much bigger than this, but it's like there's no way in my mind that something like this should outweigh what an M50 Mark II would be, especially when the M50 came out. It was like $800, $900. And so you guys let me know what you guys think in the chat in regards to that. But it's like for $800 or $900, okay, you got an M50 now. Let's say that this is the scenario. You got a Canon M50 right now. M50 Mark II gets presented saying, hey, this is what's happening. The rumor is official. Like, it's happening on this date. It's going to drop for about $900. and it's still not much better than what you already have. It's like still maybe doesn't have clean HDMI out, or maybe it has the things, but because Canon has been running into overheating issues, that's now a possibility. And I'm not talking about these crazy tests that people are doing online about like putting it in the oven, sitting it in extreme heat that we ourselves, the human being, would not sit in or have cause to sit in. And most basic consumers that are buying basic cameras, if it's too hot outside, you know what we do? We come inside. We go get in the shade. So if I'm not going to be out there for some reason, my camera isn't going to be. Case in point with the ZV-1, I did a engagement shoot, and I used my A6600 and I used the ZV-1. And so I'm literally in a bush, like in a little tree, hiding. So when the young lady gets out her car, I can get her coming around and coming down the walkway. They have like rose petals and all this stuff under this kind of like gazebo looking thing or whatever, where the guy's waiting. Got music playing and all this and that or whatever. Got him kind of mic'd up, and I got some stuff. So I'm trying to hide. Now I got the ZV-1 in a corner behind a pole because it's small, and I'm having my A6600 literally in the tree with me, hiding, okay? And it was hot as hell that day with like 60-70% humidity or something ridiculous on a 98 something. It just was stupid weather, and it was hot. And the camera didn't overheat. And the ZV-1 literally was sitting in direct sunlight in all of those conditions. Didn't overheat. Neither did the A6600 or even the icons come on. And I was out there for about a good 2 hours. And so, and the ZV-1 I didn't like turn off and then turn and then too, if it still was sitting in the heat. So I don't know. Those are just some ideas and things like that when it comes to that kind of stuff. So we got a question saying, I am Kuya, I believe, or if I say your name's wrong, please forgive me and also correct me. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Saying, hi, Diana. What scenes do you have set up on Ecamm Live? Are you using a Stream Deck? No, I use a mouse. And so my scenes are specific to just the live show that I pretty much do. And that's pretty much it. I usually do folder systems. If you're not in the Ecamm Live group, then I would highly suggest that you go, and I actually did a video that I recorded specifically for the group, and I put that in, it's the Ecamm Live Facebook group, the Ecamm Live community. So this week I've taken over doing live streams, giveaways, and things like that. But I break down all those things. It's basically just folders that are specific to the things that I want to do. If I just want me on the screen, if I want, for example, to play my live intro like I would for my regular videos, and then have it come back to me so that, I'm on camera or whatever. If I want to do this where we're going back over to the website kind of a deal, created a frame like this inspired by live streaming pros. And then you have the pre-show stuff that you see and all that stuff. So it's just, I create scenes around the things that I'm doing, so those can fluctuate. But if you really want to see an in-depth detail, I would suggest checking out the Facebook group there where I did that. But just to show you real quick, this is what I see that you guys would see. And so again, like I said, literally what I say, just me. If I wanted to do a live intro, if this was more of a tips based kind of a thing, if it was like a structured live streaming session, then I would have my live intro here. I have my folder where it's like say, me and the screen. I also have some scenes set up for other stuff. If I was doing a presentation specifically showing the full website and I just want it to be a little bubble, my desktop, a smartphone scene. So if I ever needed to, or wanted to connect my phone up, which is mostly if I'm doing tutorials, I have a scene for that. I have one for interviews. So I did want to do it side by side. Then I have myself in addition to this other bubble that would be over here, which fills out for guest number 1. This is using the unreleased Ecamm Live guest feature. No, I don't know when it's coming out. And so I have a scene already pre-filled for that. One that's just the guest only, and then I go mute it. So like if they're speaking or talking about something, or if I need to put them on camera full time and not have me taking up or whatever, there's a scene for that. Like I said, the pre-show and the live end card, where if I'm done and I'm getting ready to say, all right, guys, thanks for checking out the stream. I'm tired. I want to go get something to eat. And may the Lord bless you and keep you always. Then it's just like, I can have it there. But that's like, again, I structured it around what makes the most sense for what I want to do, or if I'm thinking through a show. Like, for example, brilliant show that Video Influencers does with Benji Travis. He primarily runs the show. And it's just like, if I needed to structure a show like that, again, a more structured show, my folder systems would change based around the things that I'm doing. It's going to be an intro, maybe. It's going to be me on the screen. It's going to be a pre-roll of maybe a sponsor ad or what we have coming up, or hey, our book is on sale. And, it's just like, so I really would just take a notepad real quick, note down specifically what is it that I'm trying to do, what am I trying to accomplish, what's the show structure, my run of show, and I then create to the scenes and folders and things like that that make sense to be able to show that. And so, if I was doing one for a client, they're doing presentations, do we have music? So for example, let's pull you guys back into the live demo. So for example, I will show you this, and this will be fun for you guys to see. In the live Ecamm group that we're doing right now, I am doing the Wheel of Wonder over there, but we're giving away stuff for Ecamm Live. And so when it's time coming up, I have the music even set up in folder and structured systems. And so when you hear this music, we have music now. Oh, and we have good corny music. Okay. And so when I'm getting ready to roll, it's like we're getting ready to go into the Wheel of Wonder. And we go over here. We spin the wheel. And like Ecamm Live gave me a bunch of stuff that I could give away. I'm going to turn that down. It's like you may win a YouTube channel review. They're giving away merch from their new merch shop. Like t-shirts, book bags, hat, and all the rest of the stuff. A distressed dad hat. All kinds of stuff. Do the Wheel of Wonder. Okay, and have a lot of fun with that. So the music is centered around that. And then, if you win, got a nice little applause sound effects. And then, if you lose, it's a whole show going on over there. And it's just like, it's so sad that you lost. It's like everybody just put your hands, wave them in the air, okay? Because somebody lost there, they got the bust or something like that. And so you're able to have fun, or if I just wanted music for the stream or something like that, just kind of have it, like if I'm doing it more for the replay value, and I want that music to just make sense with how I was going to do the stream already, this would be something that rides underneath. Now, I had to be cautious of the volume and bring that down. So like something like about there, hearable, but not annoyable. So if I'm creating, again, if I'm doing a show and this is like, I'm going into the tips, I'm going into something like, it's like, we need to have a chat, like a for real talk kind of a thing. Got the music that's set up either per scene or per thing or whatever. But that's always going to be specific to whatever it is that I'm doing, kind of a deal. But long story is still long. So that's what I do. Felicia trying to convince me on the ZV1 saying it'd be great for your vlogging setup. I need to vlog more first. If I can't vlog with what I already have, don't convince me to spend more money. Okay. IT Security Labs, good to see you. Glad you're here. Saying what will be the best lens for the A6400 for a blurred background? Any lens that you are trying to get a blurry background for, you're needing to make sure it has an f2.8 aperture on the front of that lens or lower. The focal length is always going to be based on what do you specifically need. This is a 16 millimeter lens, but this is cropped in some using that clear image zoom because I'm like, I don't need it as wide as it could go. So you could see even more of the room and stuff like that. But using the clear image zoom, I was like, let me crop that down to 1.2 just to cut the edges off unnecessarily because it's like it's just extra. And so the lens is never going to be based around anything that you're doing. For example, it's never going to be based around just my blind recommendations. What's your space? Where are you at? What do you need? And things like that. So these are my Sony lenses. And these are specific to things that I want to do use them for in the work that I do. And so I use the Sigma 16 millimeter lens before that to make sure the focal length would work for me. And then two, just to like test it out, I got the Sony 16 millimeter lens. That's an f2.8. You all have not heard about this lens much, but you have seen it plenty. in a lot of videos. And so it's not as blurry. What is this at f1.4? So it's not as blurry, but it's still not bad either. I also have the kit lens. This is what I would highly suggest that you do. You put your kit lens on your camera and zoom in and out until you say like, about like here, or is 16 too wide? Okay, so about a 25 to 30 is about what I want, or it gets me the look that I want. The other live streams that I would usually do, with the framing just a little bit different, uses the 35 millimeter, because everybody talks about a 50 millimeter lens. I hate 50 millimeter lenses. Those don't work for me personally. 35 is my favorite focal length. And then if I'm doing something like this is more of a 20 millimeter focal range that you're seeing right now. So never buy a lens based on just because I have it or somebody that you like and admire, or it's like, oh man, it looks so good on YouTube, if it's not going to work for you. Take your kit lens, put it on the camera, and see, like I have my tripod sitting right here and all that. Depending on what I'm going to be doing, I'll sit it here, I'll sit it over there, I'll sit back there. And I practice what I preach, I promise. And it's like, I'll take that lens and it's like, okay, do I like that? Or it's like, that'll work. Or it's just like, that's too wide. Like I had the 10 to 18 millimeter vlogging lens or whatever in here recently. And I'm like, I don't want this lens. It's too wide, way, way too wide. I'd never use that in here. Maybe if I did vlogging, I could kind of make that make sense. But it's like, no, never. I'd never use that lens. So that focal length doesn't work for me. So find your right focal length by doing that. And then anything f2.8 or lower will work for you. Easy recommendation is the Sigma 16. But again, what are you trying to do with it? If you're just trying to get a blurry background, pick a lens that's f2.8 or lower. That's actually in your price range that you can deal with. This is a $1,000 lens. This is the Sony Zeiss 16 to 70 and f4 though. So this is not going to get this is my right focal length, but this is not for obviously blurry backgrounds. So to find that right focal length for you, you're going to need to at least put that kit lens to work for you and see what range of lens. You got stuff like the Tamron 20 millimeter f2.8. That's about $300. That's a good lens, nice and sharp. Tamron does an amazing job. Even their 17 to 28 is a good focal range. So find your focal range or what your number is and then shop accordingly. But anything f2.8 or lower will give you a blurry background. Obviously, the 1.4s, the 1.8s, just like this 35 1.8, beautiful lens. My favorite lens of all time. Expensive lens, not as much as it's not $1,000. I think it's like $400 lens, but at the same time, maybe you don't need all that. Samyang has good lenses that can get you a blurry background. So I'm torn between the 90D and the Sony a6600. If y'all don't want me to rant, don't bring up the 90D. I will come back to this. We'll be right back after these messages on that question. Jiggy Lifestyle saying, hello, my friend. How are you doing? I am doing well, brother. Good to see you. Glad that you are here. Holy cap, we got a super chat. $9.99 from How to Build Credit TV saying, hey, Diane, just showing some love. Happy Friday, everyone. Have a great weekend. Well, thanks so much, Dwayne. Dwayne runs an amazing YouTube channel. So if credit building, getting a credit card, whether you're coming from a secured credit card, no credit, or a poor credit, check out Dwayne's channel. He does frequent live streams consistently, just incredible resource of a channel. Like from here's how I applied or here's how I got this at this credit score. Very open and straight up channel. I love watching Dwayne's channel, so definitely check him out. Saying, Ray, good to see you. Saying I gotta go to a meeting. I'll hop back on later. Hope you had a good birthday. Birthday for anybody that can't pronounce that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, so let's go back to IT security labs. The 90D and the A6600. These are not even the same camera. They're not even in the same league because the 90D overheats. And that's the thing, like the Canon cameras, and it's not like, oh, since you went to Sony. No, because this like 90D wasn't out at the time I was deciding. But it's like I went to the camera store, tried all of these different cameras out. Like I said, I've rented various different ones, and it's just like, it is baffling how ridiculous Canon is being with some of the settings. Now, if you just want Canon, get what you want. Don't listen to anything that I say. I'm so serious about that. Go with your gut. If you are vibing with the 90D, the hell with what I'm talking about. If the A6600 is your jam, get it and don't get nothing else. Don't get an A6400. Don't get an A6100. Get exactly what you want the first time, or you will waste a ton of money trying to make it be what you really want. Get past your day to return it, and then you lose money trying it. I promise, it's so not worth it. So the 90D, let's talk about a little bit of comparison. 90D is a DSLR. The Canon DSLRs notoriously have horrible audio. Horrible audio. Okay? It is the worst sounding internal camera preamps ever. And I'm not joking, because you compare that to even an old school mirrorless camera like the Canon M3, and it's just like, how? And what I'm talking about is just like that. House is quiet. Okay, your kids are NyQuil, Z-Quil knocked out. Okay, it's just underneath. That is why I will never recommend a DSLR personally at this day and age with affordable. It's one thing if mirrorless cameras just came out or whatever, but affordable mirrorless cameras are available. I'd never recommend. It don't even matter what brand that you get, especially when you have people comparing audios and stuff. But just spec to spec, I mean, it will either get the job done, will either produce amazing and beautiful video quality, absolutely. But at the end of the day, what are the things that you actually need it for? Do you need it to live stream? Both of them would do it. I believe the 90D has clean HDMI out. Do you need a smaller form factor? Okay, now you're looking at something different. Is price really an issue? And then what lenses are you considering to buy on Canon? I don't even care what you choose. More or less, the Canon lenses are always going to be cheaper. So again, like I said, it's been a stretch to get used to, especially those early days of even thinking about, like when I was picking an original M6 camera, it was a stretch to just like go from a $50 lens or a $100 lens to even potentially a $500 lens, let alone, like I said, you get to the point you start spending a few $1,000s on equipment overall. It's a big jump, and it is not for the faint of heart. So if you're just doing this for a hobby, you want your stuff to look a little bit better or whatever the case is, even if you're just kind of doing self-recorded videos or live streams for your channel, then may not be worth it to invest more money into the Sony systems if that doesn't make sense for you. And then if it's live streamed, you're not using the internal preamps of the camera, so maybe that doesn't matter. So what do you plan to use it for? What is going to work for you? So Jiggy saying, I have a Canon T6i, still gets the job done. Indeed it does. It just it's like that was one of those cameras I was kind of mad that Canon came out with. Like, it's like, why? Why is this camera existent? Because between the T5i, which I had, and you had the T6i, it's like it still doesn't focus well. You know what I'm saying? It's like it still doesn't have X. So by the time the T7i came out with the 77D and the Canon M6, it's like, did we need, those cameras? T6i is nothing wrong with that. You use what you have, okay? Use what you have, and I will never hate on that. Chocolate Twist Yoga in the house saying, hey, Diana, good to see you. Glad you're here. Saying, Diana, you really know your stuff. Keep up the great work. Well, I appreciate that. Always a pleasure. Debut guitar saying, hey, y'all, good to see you. Glad that you're here. Saying that's fire. How you do that? Do what specifically? So let me know what you're talking about. The Cutting Edge TV saying, hey, Diana, and good morning to all. Guten Tag, good to see you. Felicia saying, no, ma'am, I know better. You are unconvincible. It's like I can be convinced of very little. Even my close friends would tell you just like, hey, you want to try? It's like, nope. Or it's like, go someplace one time they screw up. It's like, we're done with them. It's just like, you want to go? Nope, not doing it. Literally had that whole conversation with one of my best friends. It was so funny. How to Build Credit TV, Dwayne saying, thanks for the kind words, Anna. Your check is in the mail. If only, shoot, I have a whole skit planned for you, my good sir. Devin Chambers, good to see you. Glad that you're here. Saying, OMG, that's great to know. So say no to or DSLR due to the sound. I'm a teacher that is now teaching, looking for a camera, and I'm on a budget. but want good quality, you are amazing. Well, my pleasure. Glad to be of service. And so one of the things with that is like, again, it's like you really have to know what is it that you want or what is it that you're trying to do. For example, like, so I've been constantly testing, and I found, like, I did the whole Rode Wireless Go versus the Comica Boom XD audio systems. And so I've been testing it out. So for example, let's switch over to the Cam Link. Okay, and so now you're listening to the lapel mic that I have on that you can't see, but instead of using obviously it's never going to sound as good as my microphone here, but it's like what you're already used to when you click on a video or you're needing to get up and away from the camera or away from the whatever, and it's just like if I turn from over here to over there, it kind of doesn't matter because it's not specific to something like this anymore. So that being the case, it's just like, okay, can my camera do this? If I wanted to hit record on my camera right now, I absolutely could do that. So I'm going to switch back Samson Q2U because I love this microphone. I wish they made some lapel microphones that were small. I sure enough looked into it, but but that's the thing. It's like, so again, it's like the DSLRs. If something happened, and it's been little things that I've found over the years. And again, I think I'm up to like 16 or 17 cameras that I have owned, from Canon cameras to Panasonic cameras to point and shoot cameras to like the smaller action GoPro Osmo Pocket cameras to the Sony cameras now, and finally found a home within the Sony ecosystem. And the thing is that when you now granted, I am a single woman with no children who enjoys what I do. So buying equipment and gear, just like I have this that I use here, my Zoom H6. So buying gear and equipment is not a hardship for doing different things. I don't try to be loose with the money at the same time, but it's not a hardship either. But if you're thinking about buying something, investing in something, like, is it going to work? I didn't buy those cameras to flex. I bought those cameras trying to find out what was right, because every reviewer makes everything looks beautiful. They make everything look great because their skills will always overcompensate for any lack of features that a camera has. You take a basic, just getting started creator like myself back in the day, pulling the camera out the box for the first time, just like I had to slow down and not set this camera up. It's still set up to go. It's like pick English, pick your language, because it's like I'm going to do a how to set this camera up, because I didn't do that before, and how to live stream with this camera and all this other stuff. But the thing is, though, I know enough to pick up a camera and go. I know enough to look at a camera and say, oh, these settings are wrong, blah, blah, blah. The skill overcompensates for a lot of issues that can happen, or just like, oh, you didn't know you were in such and such, that's why you're having whatever. That matters when you do or do not know something. So when you look at picking up a camera or something like that, those small things that we more experienced video creators are familiar with, sometimes somebody that's just getting started doesn't know or don't understand why. They figure, oh, let me make the audio loud enough, and all you're hearing is and now it's super loud. Whereas even if I switch to, let's go back to the audio coming from the camera, you don't hear anything. Maybe you hear the fan from my Mac, a little bit of hearing some noise on the street right now, but that's pretty much it. Same thing with this microphone. You don't hear anything. You know what I'm saying? Or if what you do hear is very maybe minimal. And so knowing the difference between, like, now, if you're, for example, using a DSLR, some of the older ones, and you're recording straight to camera, yeah, you got the wireless system now, but you still run into problems because the audio sucks. And you're like, well, now how do I fix the audio? You're creating issues. So that's why it's like some stuff I just do not recommend, and I just don't bother with, because it becomes a waste of money. If it's already tight and you're already looking at it, just like I took the Google Pixel out and did some videos with this, and I was super surprised. And that's why I was like, oh, let me get this EV1 back in here, because the Google Pixel got some things to say about some video. This mug is nice. And I'm like, oh, okay, let's do some stuff. Let's do some things with this here video, because I'm like, it's a bee's knees camera on this thing. And I'm like, hell, I don't need a vlogging camera. I can use this right here. And I hooked it up with the lapel and used it in the car. Let me even see if I can pull that footage up. I think, yeah, if I have that on the computer or not. But I'm going to pull that up, see if I can do that. In the meantime, I'll answer some questions and stuff like that. But, at the end of the day, I just think that if you're going to spend money on something, let's really pay attention to what we're investing in. It breaks my heart to have so many conversations with some of you guys and see people waste money just for the fact that they didn't know. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I bought all these things, and it's just like, you didn't need 5 of the 10 things you bought. And so that kind of sucks. It really sucks. Let me see if I can pull this up. So let's answer some questions here. Kaizen Kings, good to see you. Glad you're here. Saying, for travel vlogging, what do you think would be better? A DJI Osmo Pocket or a GoPro 7? Love your channel. Oh, I appreciate that, brother. Glad you're here. Here's my thoughts. I have been looking at all of the things from the ZV-1, my A6600, which if I'm vlogging with it, like when I was in Washington, I'm using the Sigma 16 just because I like it. I like the way it looks. Before that, it's like maybe the kit lens or something. Taking the ZV-1 out to vlog and do some things like that. I like it a lot. Using the Google Pixel to vlog. I like it a lot. What I don't like much now is the Osmo Pocket because it has focusing issues. And the stabilization is brilliant. The audio sucks, honestly. It sounds weird. And weird, I don't understand weird. It is 2 microphones, one on the bottom, one in the front, to just kind of help deal with the audio. And it's fine because it's like, if people don't know the difference, depending on what your topic or content is about, or just your family vlogging, whatever, nobody will really know. But it bothers me how weird it sounds. It's like, it just, I don't know. It sounds really like nails on a chalkboard. It's that weird kind of a twang in your ear. That's the kind of feeling that I get. And so I take the Osmo Pocket and I use it less. I think if you're trying to choose between the Osmo Pocket and a GoPro, I think the GoPro 7 maybe isn't worth it. I don't think either of those honestly would be worth it. Like, full transparency, I don't think either of those will be worth it, because we're looking at the 7, it had like the good stabilization and stuff like that. The audio suffered on there as well. Again, you can always watch videos and people make it sound brilliant, and it's like, well, you could do X. The GoPro Hero 8, I think, is worth it to go ahead and make that jump up if you're going into small for vlogging territory, which is perfect. If anything, maybe the Osmo Action, not the Osmo Pocket, because even though they're like, oh, we updated the autofocus, and the autofocus is great for vlogging now. It's got phase detection. Even with the latest updates, when I test it, it still sucks. That's why I haven't really talked about it, because I'm like, I hope you can get it right before I want to do some tests and stuff. But anytime I actively take it, I'm actively using it to vlog. If you're just showing things out and about, it's fine. When you turn it on yourself, that back and forth, like, it's the same thing with Panasonic. It sucks. So if anything, maybe the Osmo Action, and that may be a little bit better and give you a little bit of both, best of both worlds. But I wouldn't say the 7 because that had audio issues, and I wouldn't say the Pocket because it kind of sucks with the autofocus. So I would consider the Osmo Action maybe, and even if you picked up one of those used, would probably be a little bit better. Just Frugal Me saying saying hello everyone new here. Well, welcome to the channel. Good to see you. Glad that you are here. Saying I am having the same issue with my Blue Yeti. What issue are you having with the Blue Yeti? So let me know. Those are interesting. Those are interesting cameras. Not cameras, but microphones, because they can be versatile and stuff like that. But at the same time, I found where something a little different and a little odd about the audio. Just something a little odd about the audio. And I can't put my finger on it because I don't have one like in front. It may be just fixing the polar pattern. Like, again, some pick up omnidirectional, which means everything around you. Some are cardioid pickup patterns, so they only pick up what's in front of you. And then some are super cardioid, where it's kind of like a bubble around you, and then a small bubble in the back or something like that. Watchmaker F's, good to see you. Glad you're here. Saying ZV-1 is great. Have no qualms about that. No disagreements whatsoever. I said something about the Google Pixel, so I wanted to show you guys that. Let's go over to that real quick. So you can see, like I was thinking to do about the rumors in a video, just don't like it yet. So it's like, no. So, so let's go over to, sound audio should be up. All right. So this is, footage from there. So let's play that. You have 1080p, full HD that you could do 24, 30, even 60 frames per second. They included a form of slow motion being 720p. So like that is audio that is coming from the Comic Kaboom, and I promise you, in that car on that road was loud, like audibly to my ears. It was loud, and so the audio that you heard was, I mean, like I was super surprised with how well it was. I used the Yellowway lapel microphone that I've talked about here before. But it was crazy that I'm like, man, that knocked out a lot of noise, because usually car noise can be loud, or if you're on a road that's loud, it just can be loud. So I was that was just like from the Google Pixel. It was okay. And it's like compared to the day, it was kind of like raining on and off. So sometimes dark, sometimes bright. It did a decent job. I'm like, for vlogging, if you're just on the go, I was like, that is perfect. And that's just using the front facing camera. It's not even using the rear facing camera. So that's not including that footage. But so vlogging, if that's your thing, then it's kind of like, sometimes it makes sense to get a camera. Sometimes your phone, like I said, the phones are nothing to sleep on these days. They're doing an amazing job. So, it was something else that I wanted to discuss. There's a new camera coming out that I'm curious if any of you have heard of yet, and that is the M7. This is a new rumored camera. Don't know how real this is, but I want to just share with you some specs and get you all's ideas of what you think on it. It is a 32 megapixel sensor, which is the 32 megapixel sensor is the same one that you should see like from the M6 Mark II and like the 90D. It has IBIS, so built-in in-body image stabilization, some kind of a new sensor or whatever, a cheap EVF it's saying, which is 2.36 million dots. So just something for you to see basically, but not that big of a deal. Dual SD card slots. So hopefully in the same kind of a body like maybe the M6, but M50 style with the fully articulating screen. It's pretty fast shooting, 12 frames per second with autofocus active, 4K at 24 frames per second, up to 60 frames per second. And it's using the full APS-C sensor, so this is not a full frame camera. It'd be like the M50, but this is an M7. It's basically a high-end model. You're going to have 1080p up to 120 frames per second. Although they are reporting that the rumors are saying that these overheat at 120 frames per second. So maybe that's up to 5 or 10 minutes if they lock that down. C-Log, so if you're trying to get into color grading a little bit or something. And about $1,600 for the price point is the rumor. Don't know if y'all heard about that M7 camera yet, but that is very interesting spec. So it's like you are hearing about the M50 Mark II, the M7, and then are like, okay, after that camera comes out, then we're done. And it's just like, I don't think that those rumors are true. It's like I can see Canon maybe if they stop it on the EOS M line, they can move it to something else. That makes sense. Maybe making some kind of adapter to help people transition because an adapter wouldn't even make sense. For the size of the lenses and stuff. But I don't know. The M50 was like Canon's best-selling camera and has been. So I can't see them doing something. But a camera like that, I don't know. I just want to know, throw that on y'all's radar. Have you heard about it? And if you have, with those features that I just read out to you, we'll say that it would have clean HDMI out, because as much as everything else that it has, it doesn't make sense for it not to. Is that a camera that you would upgrade to? So, just curious. K-Walk Comedy saying, I want a teleprompter and a shotgun mic. I'm single, so those will be my babies to help me birth some videos. Well, if you're already familiar with the teleprompter, or you, again, are willing to go through some small, like, YouTube video trainings or something, or how to best pull those off, go for it. You got to do what works for you. Just Frugal Me saying, yes, when you go cheap, you will end up spending more than going from build and quality. Yep, absolutely. Same question. Is it okay to to do an honest review, even if it's not glowing, if a company has paid you to buy their product. So a couple of red flags on this one. If you are getting inquiries for you to send out like, hey, and I promise y'all, if you have any level of any channel on YouTube, you'll start getting from these people that are ordering stuff essentially from different companies or brands or whatever, or they're reselling it, whatever the case is. And they're like, hey, all you need to do to review this product is buy it on Amazon, give us your PayPal link, and then we'll refund you the money for a review or something like that. Those are red flags. It's actually against YouTube policy, not YouTube policy, but Amazon's AdSense affiliate policy. So decline those with all prejudice, because it is not worth the money that you can and potentially will make with Amazon affiliate associates. It's against the contract, whether you read the fine terms and conditions like us nerds do. It is against terms and conditions. And furthermore, I check with them as well, because I get a ton of those. It's like, hey, can you review? It's like, hell no, get out of my inbox. But then to the other thing, it's like, if it's something that, you have to consider what kind of channel that you have. Some people's channel kind of get off on this thing is trash or whatever. My whole thing is like, I'm always into building relationships first before ever doing a product. And I would rather save on a relationship by being honest with them and saying, you know what, for example, if, which I thought I was going to have to do with this Comica Boom thing, like, I don't know what's wrong with the model you sent me, but this is the problem. So instead of me saying and just blasting a review saying this thing's trash, when you use this cable with the Sony ones, it sucks, versus me emailing them saying, hey, I don't know what the issue is, but it sounds horrible when I try it with this cable. Is there something going on that I should know about? Or is this something I'm gonna have to be honest with my community about? Or do you want to send another model? So I'm always about relationship building first. And for example, they let me know, oh, hey, Comica did come out and say that cable is defective, something's wrong with it or whatever. Don't use it. Use the other one that they included, and you're good to go. And it turned out to be true. That would be something I mention. And it's not a great thing, but it's just like, hey, throw this cable in the trash when you get it, because it's not going to work, or it's going to make your audio sound crazy. So it's like, that's an honest opinion. I don't do reviews and like, I was like, I let them know, good or bad, I'm be honest. If you don't want that, let's not even move further. Companies that have integrity don't mind being honest. Obviously, they don't want you to bash their stuff, but even if it's paid, it doesn't matter. It's like, what kind of a channel do you want in regards to reviewing equipment and stuff? And it's okay to mention downfalls. Everything has a negative. Everything has a downside to it. Even like, hell, we're live right now. It's like, I got, 16 thumbs up that I can see and 1 thumbs down. It's a up and a down with everything, right? And so it's like, obviously, everything's not going to be perfect. It's okay to say something is not great, or it's like, I wouldn't use it for this. It's okay for that. Or this is a problem with this, or whatever. I think it's fine to be honest. If it's going to be a full-on bad review and it's just like, this thing is trash, don't buy it, it's a waste of money. At that point, I would probably consider reaching back out to the company and saying, this is what I'm planning to say, because this is my experience. If you would rather not proceed with me moving in this direction, I can send you your equipment back, or whatever the case is. Or the payment was in exchange for your time and energy, even just reviewing it and it's not publishing the video. And then what did you agree to? Also, I'm big on agreements and contracts. I'm big on fine print. I'm big on all of the things in between. So if you paid me for my time, you paid me for my time. Whether I produce a video is my choice, or when I produce the video is my choice. So I may maintain full creative flexibility, but I'm open and honest with the company, at least to say this sucks, or this is a problem, or, something like that. But that's my thoughts on that. I think it's always going to be a good thing to be honest, because I value my integrity more than a paycheck. I've turned down money already because I know there are gears and equipment and software that I just don't vibe with. I don't recommend. I think it's trash to a certain extent, or it's just like, no. So why would I take the dollars and then come on the channel like, this video is brought to you by something I don't really care about, but I took the money, So I just, I think honesty is always the way. Just Frugal Me saying the issue that it's picking up a lot. So this is in regards to the Blue Yeti. It's picking up a lot of background even when the gain is turned down. Depending on the specific model of that blue microphone that you have, and depending on if you can change the pickup pattern, cardioid and dynamic microphones like this one is always going to be better. Some of them are omnidirectional microphones, which means it is going to pick up audio from all over the place. And so if it is a condenser microphone like this Movo one is over here that I have yet to review just yet, but I've tried it out, it's a condenser microphone, but it also is a cardioid pickup pattern. So it's only picking up audio from the front and it's rejecting audio from the back. So it's going to reject background noise really well. Same thing with this one here that I'm using now. If your microphone, depending on what the specs are for it, if it's not a cardioid pickup pattern, if it's not a dynamic microphone, chances are it's going to pick up background noise, pretty significantly. I got one now that's like for like singers, brand new, still in the case. I'm giving to my friend that sings. And I'm like, okay, you're going to probably set up a studio space for singing. I don't sing, and everybody should be glad I don't. It's like I don't sing and I'm not going to. It's just like I think that is better, it's like used in the right environment. I don't put up sound panels. I tried that initially, and it's just like, but it's like I don't put up sound panels. It's a working office. I actually like do legit work in here. So it's not just for videos. So I need some functionality beyond just things that are more YouTubery or video kind of a deal. So, you got to think of the specs on that microphone. Let me see if I can even find that real quick. Let's do Blue Yeti and just see what those, because if it's, I think if memory serves me correctly, you can probably change the pickup pattern on those microphones. And if that's the case, you just need to change the polar pattern to the one that makes sense. Yep, so here we go. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull this up. And then guys, feel free to ask your questions. I'm gonna take this graphic down about the join, because none of y'all want to join me today. And my feelings are hurt. No, just kidding. But I'm gonna take that down so you can see. But let's pull this up here on the screen and let us take a look. Because the polar patterns can be changed. So that's probably the issue that you're running into. And let's go over to here. All right. So if you look on this microphone, you'll see that it has these, not that one, this one. It has like these different buttons. This is if you have the one on the far left. Okay, don't change pictures on me. This one, that's the one I want. This one here, that's to the far left, is going to be if you have two people and you want to pick up from both ends. The one that's the full circle is going to be that condenser style pickup pattern that's going to pick up everybody. That's not what you want, or it's not everybody, but everything around you. That's not what you want. The one that it has the actual dial on, which is the cardioid pickup pattern, which will be similar to this, is the one that you should be using to reject noise better. And then the one that is off to the right of that is looking like more of somewhat of a super cardioid type of pattern, but not quite. I can't think. It's probably another kind of pattern I can't think of. But again, reject noise a little bit better, but still pick up from both sides if you wanted to have two people. So the one that dial is on, which is that cardioid pickup pattern, it'll just pick up from the front, is the one that you probably want to turn it to and then test. But it's a condenser microphone because it has all of those features in there, but they at least give you the ability to control the pickup pattern. But that's what I would say with that as far as that's concerned. So I love the mic that you're using to give that full sound. I just didn't see a need to buy anything other than what I use, and I've been using this now for about two plus years. Alan saying I saved and bought the Shure MV88 Plus video kit for quality and versatility. The app works great now. I've tried that out before. That Shure MV88 is an amazing microphone. That is a microphone I wish I've at times wished I had, and it's at time wish that it's like it worked, or there was a one specifically for cameras. And this is the one that he's referring to. This thing is a super smart microphone. I mean, a super smart microphone, to the point to where, like, and I've done this, like actively vlogging, and like you have headphones in, you can change. They don't have good diagrams on here for real, but basically it's like, yeah, it's this kind of a microphone or whatever, and it plugs straight into your phone. But the thing is though, like, you can change and audibly hear the difference between, like, okay, that's too loud, and it's just like, okay, just focus right here. And you can see the graph on the phone. It's brilliant. It is so brilliant. I wish like they could marry that with a camera kind of a thing. It is absolutely brilliant. Davey Cameron saying, what's your opinion on Fuji cameras? Fuji cameras are brilliant. So maybe word of the day, okay? It's brilliant. But no, it's like, I think Fuji makes incredible cameras. Two quirks that they have, that kept me from buying them, that makes me just personally not like them. The dials on the top is not my jam. I don't want that, and I just don't like it. And when I tried it, it was stupid for me. It's like, I don't want to. It's like, oh, but the aesthetics, it looks just like film cameras, and it's like somebody saying, hey, don't you miss the shoes from World War II? It's like, I don't know what shoes they wore. And so it's like, no, I don't. I think they're beautiful cameras, but the little dials, I don't want to do this while I'm doing videos, or I don't want to be holding the camera and be like, oh, I can just change the dial. That's dumb to me. So for me personally, that's the first thing. Second thing is, they do not have reliable autofocus, in my opinion. I have seen people make amazing quality films and videos and just great stuff with it. It is just that little bit of a uncertainty, just like Panasonic cameras. They make fantastic cameras. Even they had one come out this week. Fantastic cameras. Autofocus is better than what it used to be, but it's still just, in my opinion, it just kind of like, it's not there. You know, Canon, it snaps to you, it stays on you. Sony, it snaps to you, it stays on you. I literally deleted a comment today because it's like somebody was like, oh, your video's out of focus. I'm not even entertaining this conversation. It's like the A6600 has eye autofocus. I can look right now and it's just like, just stuck. Okay, with glasses, it doesn't fail. I've done so many videos, it just doesn't fail. Even the A6400. Extremely reliable. So it's like, I don't know if you were watching this in 144p on your phone. It's just like, I'm not even entertaining this. And it's like, I've watched my own videos ad nauseum to make sure stuff, or, you know, like see what's going on with it. It's like, this is not even a conversation. But with Fuji, I see it. Maybe if you're doing tax videos, for example, nobody would see. It's just like, I don't want to think about autofocus in my videos and with my cameras and stuff like that. You know, it is what it is. I don't think about it. I don't want to have to think about it. With Fuji, it just wasn't spot on, but they're beautiful cameras. I think they're amazing cameras. And if you want one, get one. Like, I can never say don't buy one. It's just like, for me personally, it just didn't fit my personal preference. Doc Rock in the house saying trolls down-thumbed scheduled lives before the camera even turns. So it is. It's like it's got to be like one person who I don't even know why they would be subscribed at this point. Because there'll be some videos, I have like 56 likes, 1 thumbs down. And it's just like, why are you here though? It's like, it's like, you can leave. You don't have to be here. And whenever, like, please hit the back button and just like leave. Like, tell YouTube, never want to see this channel again. It's just like, they will help you and making sure you never see my stuff. But it's like, somebody is just like, 1 thumbs down consistently. If some get like significant thumbs down, and I don't mean significant like a lot, but it's like multiple things, that's fine. I'll say, I am a person that's very polarizing at times. I have no qualms about being honest and myself, and never will I not be myself on my videos. It's my channel. I built this my damn self. It's just like, so I don't care if somebody don't like something. But I do care about my ideal and target audience if I'm missing the mark with them. And if at times that's happening, you know what I'm saying? I'm concerned about making things that are what my audience wants. I don't make stuff for trolls or whatever. So it's like 1 thumbs down, 2 thumbs down, fine, whatever. Because I'll say stuff that people don't like or don't agree with or whatever, and that's fine. It's like people should have their opinions, but it is what it is. Saying, I know you have some Broadway tunes in you. Yeah, we ain't singing over here. That's one thing I never got a scholarship for, I can tell you that. Saying, thank you, I hear you on honesty. I was planning to return the product, but don't want to do a disservice to people. Need to know the faults. Yeah, it's just like everything has a up and down, just like the Sony cameras. They need to be able to, you need to be able to touch the screen with everything. Now, with the, latest ones that are coming out, the A7S III, you can touch the screen. It's like we should have been able to do that for the last 5 years. That should have, how, and you make phones that can do that, Sony. Like, no excuses. So it's just the same way with anything. Everything has a downside. TheCuttingEdgeTV.com saying, I have the Blue Yeti also, and it does pick up a lot of background noise. Pick cardio and get as close to the mic as possible to make you sound fuller to help reduce the background noise. So top tips coming there from TheCuttingEdgeTV.com. But yeah, I just, personally, that's one of those things. It's like the Blue Yeti microphone. I don't know. It's like I have sometimes, and I've said this before, it's just like, I don't like them. They'll have new ones coming. It's just like, I don't like those microphones. Like the Shure microphones, Boss. Samson makes some Boss microphones. You got Deity. I really want to get my hands on a Deity microphone and try some of those out because they sound brilliant. And it's just like, but the Blue Yeti ones, I remember when everybody on YouTube kind of had ones, kind of like the Sigma 16 lens, like everybody has one. It was one of those things. And I'm just looking like, I don't care how many of y'all say that microphone looks like trash to me. It's just, it's so like I'm very in my own opinions when it comes to like gear and equipment, because I promise you, I didn't bought enough stuff. And it's like I'm keeping that Amazon box like nobody's business, because chances are you're going back, fella. But it's like the Blue Yeti ones, I just couldn't. I don't know, something about it. It just I don't know. It's just my personal thing. Sometimes you don't like something for no reason, and that's kind of one of those things. Chocolate Twist Yoga saying, "Hey Diana, how do I set up a countdown timer? I'm going live tomorrow, and would like to have one in place." Well, my dear, let us do one. Let's go to the live end card, which we're not ending the video. But if you have to go, may the Lord bless you and keep you always. But let me show you, and I'm just showing it to a blank screen so we have some real estate to work with. So let's say this is the image and the graphic, even if, let us go to live view mode and I can show you. So let's say this was the, hey, welcome everybody, thank you for coming, and X, Y, and Z. I'm going to move my comments out the way because what I want to do, actually, I'm going to bring that up some, and let's make that a little bit smaller. I'm going to take that down so I can see. If you want to do countdown music, you would just pull in this sound effects window, and then you can play music. So if you wanted to have some kind of music or whatever, or some of the Wheel of Wonder music, then you can have that. But you can add music to the scene by, see, one of these that are not, let's see. Nope, I don't like that one. So let's say that one. So I can go over here. Let's say this is the music that you want to start playing. Click on that and add it to the scene. So every time you come over here, you'll see this window or this little bar over here. So this music is always going to be playing every time you get ready to go to this one. And this is the live end card or the whatever. Then you have that. So now that's locked in there. We're going to go over here to this time. And we want to, let's say, for example, you want to start at 3 minutes and 27 seconds for whatever reason. Auto start is going to be there. You can pick the background if you want one or not. You can apply a shadow effect, kinda-ish or whatever, or you can change the color, which this is the box. And I know my brand colors specifically. So let's say I wanted to do the gold. Okay, I have that. Now, if I wanted to change how big or something like this was, I can drag that up. Oh, is that changing in real time for me? Okay, so I could drag that up if I wanted that, and then I can click add. And now I can bring this to where I want it to be and just drag and make that maybe even bigger, kind of a deal. Let's say I didn't have this text down here. Let's go to It would just say wait a minute. Move my keyboard over. And that is what we're telling people before the show starts. You can change that. Again, change that to white if you want to. And then click add. And that is your message. Say, wait a minute. And we got the timer over here and all of that good stuff, right? All right, so let's go back to the Just Me screen where your question was at. So we now have created this, which obviously you would just hit the plus to bring in a new scene. This is using the FaceTime camera. So you can change your camera to the Camlink one. So now we're back on the good camera. And you can change this to new live scene or screen or whatever, or pre-show, whatever you want to call it, and do all the things that we just did. But because I don't want to, actually, I don't want to hit that yet. I want to delete that. All right. Too many things are happening. So I'm actually hitting my own pre-screen. I'm like, okay, I'm tripping. Now, so this is the one that maybe would be you on camera or whatever. So we go over to live in card. The music is started. The time is started. The wait a minute and hold your horses screen is there. If you don't want to be on camera, you hit that one. And then you can turn that off. That is a transparent, so it's just like my box filled in so you can see my camera. But if that was like your image, something that a lot of people are doing, which is fun, you come over here, and let's say you want to be black and white. Turn your saturation all the way down, and so they can see you behind the scenes. So if you want to do a little dance, a little raise the roof, okay, you can do that. It's important to check your audio levels. So if you want to be muted, you would mute. Then that way you can make sure that your community doesn't hear you and just like, it's like, oh man, why do my socks have a hole in them? They shouldn't be hearing that. So make sure your main microphone is muted. The sound effects is your song. So you just want to make sure those levels aren't obnoxious. Sound system audio, that's like if you were playing a video or something. We don't need that. In the interview, you won't see because that's new. But this would be like your pre-screen kind of a thing. So if you didn't need to be on camera or whatever, that's all that you're doing there. So we're going to take the wait a minute off, and we're going to move this. And again, you can always drag and drop. Quick tip here though. Go over here to your overlays window. And if you don't see that, you have all of these shortcuts up here to get up here, or you can click on overlays and show the overlay window. Come over here to your time that you set up and hit that lock symbol so that this doesn't move now. Before we could move that time around, now you can't. So you hit that lock button. So make sure you get it in the position that you want. If I wanted it right there, and hit the lock button so you accidentally don't delete it or accidentally don't move it, or whatever the case is. And so if that's what you wanted, then you could do that. When you don't want that visible, you can change that. Or if you need to change the time, just double click on it, and then you can go and impact the duration or whatever the case is. You can change font, all that good stuff. So let us hit reset on that saturation. Go back to the Just Me screen, and boom, there you go. So very easy, not a whole lot. Mine is just more filled out because I have a lot of stuff within my eCam setup and whatnot. But, you know, if you're starting from scratch, it's super easy. And the way you saw me have my screen set up, that's exactly how I have my stuff. So I always got my scenes over to my left, and then my overlays, because those are always in conjunction and used along with that. And then I have my sound effects and my audio panel up to my top right, so I can always impact that. Only the sound effects, like the music, if I was getting ready to do the Wheel of Wonder, and we were going to go over to the Wheel of Wonder, or I want to hit the sound effects for other stuff, just because I've been doing that with eCam Live. I'll probably do a live stream over there as soon as I'm done here. And yeah, so that's what you do. So how you get your countdown timer and all your things. We have VSG Life in the house. Good to see you. Glad that you are here. Saying, yeah, your camera is crispy white. Thank you. Appreciate that. You know, you got to show out every now and again. Doc Rock saying my same peeves with Fuji too. Amazing pictures, but not trying to be Jimmy Olsen with a 1920 camera control. And that's the thing. It's like you got these dials on the top of the not Sony, but the Fuji cameras. And it's just like, oh, you want to change the three basic things like your shutter speed, your aperture, your ISO. I don't want to do that. Like, I don't. It's just like, I don't want to twist and turn the things. I don't want to do this. It's like I'm doing videos. I feel like I'm going to have to do that. I don't want to do that. And so did you ever get that Sony ZV-1? I'm testing it again. I just can't do it. I can't do it. I had to do the adult thing and just say no. Okay, not to drugs, but to the camera. But you should say no to drugs. But it's like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I was going back and forth with my friends in chat on Instagram. I was just like, I put it in my cart. I pulled out my debit card. I started going through the checkout process. And I'm just like, I can't. I'm not going to use it. I know I'm not. I just know I'm not going to use it. It's not going to make me vlog more. Because the 24 millimeters is fine and it's light enough and it'd be great and I could mount it in the car really easily. And it's just like, I know I'm not going to use it. I'm going to say all this stuff on these streams, okay, get the big head and just like, I want my Sony a6600 because I want my camera. You know what I'm saying? It's just something different, even though it's bigger, even though it's heavier. And it's not, and I mean heavier, it's like not by much. But I want to be able to do like and know, like I want a full camera. It's kind of like buying a car. Yeah, gas mileage and whatever for the little ones. And like when I went to go buy my car, and then the guy was like, yeah, I got these little, I said, sir, don't ever in your career, any other time I come up here, show me these little Fiat not cameras, but cars. Give me a full car, okay, that I can stretch out, go to sleep in the back. Hell, I want to get in the trunk. Okay, I want space. And I can actually put a body in the trunk, but neither here nor there. You know, you got to pay for these cameras some kind of way. No, I'm just kidding. Doc Rock saying, I hate Blue Yetis too. People get mad at me, but the sound is just too bright. Maybe that's what it is. It's too bright. Because I couldn't figure out what it is about it. Because I'll add bass to my audio in my stuff. And it's just like a little bit just to give a more full sound. Again, I don't have a very light voice like that or whatever. I have like a mid-tone-ish, even sometimes lower voice. And so it's just like, I don't want something doing weird things. So VSG's live saying facts. Eva Johnson STL, good to see you. Glad you're here. Saying, question, do you use a mic preamp or a FET head or a cloud lifter? No, I don't, because I'm not using the XLR port of my thing. And if you are using that, that's for usually microphones like that Shure SM7B, like it's gain hungry, so it needs more, it'll sound really, really low. And so you need something to kind of give it some additional gain. And those use this XLR port that you'll see here on the bottom, those three things. So this microphone has it, but I'm just using the USB. This is straight plugged into my Anchor adapter and into the USB-C. I don't try to that's why I just want to buy something that's right. I don't need extra things. I tried that. I promise. I did recently. It's like I took this, I used it as an audio preamp and hooked it in via the XLR, and just that extra added thing on the desk, just because I can't do it. I don't want to, because I need space to journal and I need space to, lay some stuff out. And it's like, it bothers me. So no, I don't. Saying, is this OBS? Oh my goodness, this is far better than OBS. This is Ecamm Live on ecamlive.com. No, but yeah, this is Ecamm Live. So what you're seeing right now is my show. This is the new unreleased No We Don't Know When It's Coming Out feature, where it's the guest feature. So if somebody calls in at the diana.link/join, then they'll pop up down here and they will be able to come on. I'll probably go live in Ecamm Live's community group later, since I'm already here. But this is that window. Otherwise, that will go away. And so I got my scenes up here. So like we just did the live end card before. So I still got the music on here. So that could be there and do all of that. Got my pre-show music and stuff like that. It's hella loud. But yeah, so like I got all of that, and I can move that stuff around if I wanted to. Have all of that stuff like I do for the pre-screen stuff. So I'm gonna put this back the way I had it. And so I got my lower third that comes in whenever I come back to this scene. And so this is, no, it's all that. And I can bring in questions. So like that, and move those around as I need to, or get them centered because I have OCD at times. And that is Ecamm Live, and this is how I do my live stream. And so I know some people use those, whatever things, the buttons. I can't, it's just not my go-to thing. And this is going to start fights. And that's me and the Dallas Cowboys. No reason, just hate them. Raiders Nation. I don't have a football affiliation since the Rams sucky self left, and then they want to go win over in a whole other state. So forget you, Rams. We don't need you while you put us into debt. Gosh darn it, I'm sick of them. And then they had a Netflix special. That's why the Cardinals Nation, okay? It's Cardinals Nation said, oh, I forgot you use Ecamm. Diana, what's the other one for PC to do the same thing? There's a few other options. One is called vMix. I think the one that's called Wirecast is kind of have sunsetted in people's hearts because of too many issues with it. For as much as it costs, it's just not working well. Then you have browser-based options like BeLive.tv, and then StreamYard.com are some options that people have. And they just are basic in that you can bring people on screen and stuff like that. You don't have to download anything. Costs a little bit more since it's browser-based and stuff like that, but those are some options. Singing and dancing. Thank God it's Friday. We are not singing and dancing out here in this piece. So question in regards to the timer. Muting myself doesn't mute the music, correct? And are you getting your music from Epidemic Sound? If so, do you have an affiliate link? So when I am doing the music, let's go back to the live in card. And so you'll see, again, we had that music come in before because we locked that song, this one in here. It is from Epidemic Sound, so I do use Epidemic Sound. I have to see what... I usually try to set up links ahead of time for any of that stuff. Let me see if I got one. I think so. I just have to remember what it is. But I'll find it for you and I'll throw that in the chat for Epidemic Sound. And here's a hack real quick. If you are using TubeBuddy, so you go to dyna.link/TubeBuddy. Let me stop the music because I want to go back over here. Quick hack on this. If you are using TubeBuddy, and if you're not, you need to go to TubeBuddy, go to dyna.link/TubeBuddy. All right, dyna.link/TubeBuddy. Sign up for a TubeBuddy account. Once you do that, matter of fact, let's pull that up because I don't like people to have to spend money unnecessarily. Or you go to TubeBuddy.link/Diana. Either of those would work. When you sign up for a TubeBuddy account, there is a section called Member Perks. And let me show you this. When you go to Member Perks, over here in the left, once you set up TubeBuddy, you can get 25% off of Epidemic Sound. So while I appreciate if you go through my affiliate link or whatever, if you already have TubeBuddy, you could get a better discount over here. And that's just being honest. Yeah, it's like affiliate's nice, but if this makes more sense, if you already have TubeBuddy and you're using that, or you can sign up for TubeBuddy using my affiliate link there and get the free account, and you still will get some kind of a discount off at Epidemic Sound if you have like one of their paid accounts or whatever. But this might be a better discount for you because I don't even think my affiliate link maybe is 10 or 15%, maybe if that. So you get a better discount that way for Epidemic Sound. But back to your question about the live in card. So up here in regards to the audio, which is what your question was saying, muting yourself up here does not mute the music because that's the sound effects. So the sound effects is the music specifically. Movie would be if we're playing a video and we hit this video tab up here to bring in something like the pre-show, my real pre-show. So the sound effects is your music over here, okay? Just muting yourself isn't going to do anything or impact that negatively in any kind of way. So So that now that is there. But yeah, so that's what I would say about that. If you want to just, let's see here, epidemic sound. Yeah. So Diana.link/epidemic is my affiliate link. I said I don't even remember how much the discount is for it. I don't think it's as much as the 1 through 2, buddy. So just do whatever makes sense, or whatever one gives you the better discount. That's what I would say on that. Let's see here. Saying, but Hawaii has such good. Oh my gosh, we are not getting into that. Do not do trucks. They said, no, it's all right. You got the best A6400. This is the A6600, actually, that I'm using right now. My A64 is over here. So this is my A6400 here, and then I have my A6600 up there, and the Sigma 16 millimeter at f1.4. Yeah, so that's there. And I'm not going into conversations in regards to drugs and bodies in the back, because that just lets you know I've played too much Grand Theft Auto in my time of life as a child and adulthood. John Leon Lewis Live.com. Good to see you. Glad that you are here. Can you walk through how to use Restream with Ecamm? I guess can't get my chats to come through. Thanks. So to be completely honest with you, I'm probably not the best person for that. So I'm not listening to y'all in the chat about the drug comments and all this, the bodies in the back. We're not going there. Let's see what I can do in regards to Restream, because the last time I was using it, honestly, it didn't work well for me. And then at the time they were having issues with YouTube, connecting to YouTube, which is my bread and butter. So it just didn't work out well. So let's go to my buddy Rob Balasabas, who is a brand evangelist for TubeBuddies, the man. He has done a ton. He's an Ecamm user. He uses the M50 if that's specific to you. In addition to, he has done a lot with Restream. I'll say this. I'm in communication with Restream to potentially see about working with them and doing some stuff. But Rob is the man when it comes to that. And so this is Rob's channel, Rob Balasabas. I'll drop this in the chat real quick. So y'all definitely go subscribe to Rob. He's an amazing person and a good friend. And I appreciate Rob. So he has done a lot with Restream specifically. He was doing on his live stream today about that specifically. But he has some videos and tutorials on here about using Restream and stuff like that. But a lot of specific live streaming stuff and using Ecamm and all that jazz. So he has one here, this Restream Studio tutorial. So I would highly recommend you checking that out, in addition to some other stuff that he's done in regards to Restream. So I have to catch up to where Rob is at, as far as that. So if you need that quickly, go to Rob's channel. But from the last time I tried it, I wasn't able to get good success with some of the things with it for whatever reason. So I don't know. I'll just have to update and try it again. Let's see here. Let me go back, because y'all cracked me up in this chat. Who said I could keep several bodies in the back of my 5 series? Humble brag. I'll just say this. It is fun to play with your nieces and nephews when you can just toss them in the back of the car. That's all I'm saying. No, I'm just kidding. I tell you, here's a funny story. Funny random story. I was doing a vlog, and it's for going in my coach's Facebook group. And so I'm thinking okay, let me just walk around outside and stuff like that. And you know how you're trying to get multiple shots and you walking into the room and all that. So I'm doing that. And then I'm going to the car because it was something else. I locked my car doors. I left my keys in the center console. And it wasn't even like you can kind of do the thing and unlock it. I had none of those things. But the trunk was open. And I still had my camera. I had to crawl in. I left all of this in the video. I had to crawl in through the trunk. And I was thinking I could put my feet first and then kind of, pop over and then reach. And I was just oh, the other seat is not. I was the other seat is not down. So I can't climb in. So I'm halfway through the weirdest, awkwardest position in the car. And I'm just okay. So now I got to pull myself back out. And then I have to go in head first. and then kind of fall over the seats to go in and get the keys. And I vlogged all of that. I vlogged all of that and I uploaded it in the group. They laughed so hard. And no, y'all can't see the video. I will never show it on the channel. I would never show it. So, oh my goodness. But John, though, to your question, I'll see about doing some stuff with Restream. I just have to retry that back out. Saying I bought the ZV-1, but I don't know how to synchronize the camera with the stand. That was something that was hard. Also, I don't have the stand again, but that was not easy. I remember, I think I took some notes on how to do it. But yeah, that's it's not even easy enough for me to remember off the top of my head. I just remember I wrote down the how to potentially do a video on it, but that sucks. It's like the Bluetooth settings or something. They need to fix that. That actually does suck. So I can't recall. So, it's not OCD, it's Virgo life. Well, whatever it is, man, whatever it is, saying thanks. We just be like that. As it said, TubeBuddy is the absolute truth. I can definitely agree with that. Saying, yeah, I wanted but TubeBuddy account and get Epidemic Sound, so I'm going to use your TubeBuddy affiliate link. Oh, well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Saying, do you have an affiliate link? Yes, so you just go to diana.link. Just type this in here, .link/TubeBuddy, and that will take you over to my affiliate link. Specifically, I'll drop that in the chat if you want to check that out. Alrighty, so let's go up to saying which one do you love better, the A6400 or the A6600? Without a shadow of a doubt, the A6600. It is my favorite camera of all cameras I have owned, beyond the M50, beyond the Panasonic GX8 that I loved, beyond the Panasonic G85 that I loved. No other camera that I've had, not even the M6, not my first DSLR camera, not nothing, has been like the most fun. And it was hard. I'm thinking like, oh man, this is gonna take the throne away from the M50, and it sure enough did. Snatched it with no remorse because it is the easiest. It's been the easiest camera to use because it doesn't have a lot of limitations. Like the one thing I would want for it to have is the one thing that any Sony user that has a camera right now would want them to have, which is touchscreen. But that is not enough of a downfall for it to, be an issue. The creativity that I've been able to do is expanded because I have flat color picture profiles, so I can color grade and do images and stuff like that. It has a fast shutter, so like I don't think this has a battery in it. So it actually does. So like this one, if I put this one, which is pretty similar, I can take pictures of my family and have a good time, and it's a lot of fun. You know what I'm saying? And it's whereas when I do that with any other kind of camera, for example, it's an issue. So I think you should be able to see that on here. Oh, I don't have a memory card, right? So let me put one in, and then I can show you what I'm talking about. But it's like it can take pictures really fast. And so when I'm doing stuff with my family, it's a whole lot of fun. Let me change this up. Oh, you know what? Yeah, there we go. So it's like, so now I can take a bunch of photos. You know what I'm saying? And just have fun, and all of those will be in focus. Obviously, there's no lens on here, but it's like when I've done that at family functions or whatever, and somebody's dancing and somebody's, you know what I'm saying, something like that or whatever, it's like I can capture all of those moments without fail. And all of those are in focus. You know what I'm saying? When my friend, one of my best friends, her and her husband were struggling to get pregnant the third time, and successfully have their baby. Finally had the baby after all hell through the pregnancy. And finally, she's starting to smile more because she was born with an attitude, so she had issues apparently. But it's like she's starting to smile more, and her grandma is just jumping her up on her legs, and I could take pictures like that and capture every little expression. Now that was done on the A6400, but the thing is though, it's possible on the A6600, but with eye autofocus too. Now that has eye autofocus in the pictures, but that's something that was special. When I want to do videos, I could do this live stream, and I can hit record, and like I said, I have the lapel mic on, and I can have a wireless, like I'm doing interviews and stuff like that now. I can capture and document my own experience in addition to live streaming. I don't need another camera or to set something else up. It's so much flexibility and freedom with the camera. It's insane. And so it has like raised the creativity height just because I can do a lot, even if I don't want to, or if I don't need to. The ceiling is very high. And so it's been like the perfect camera for me. So without a doubt, that A6600, it's going to be hard to beat. I don't care what they come out with. Even with the A7S III coming out now by Sony, it's an amazing camera, but at the same time, it's just not, you know what I'm saying? It's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is my perfect camera already, you know? So, Alan's saying, if you don't use Restream, how do you get Ecamm Live working? You just already can kick out to specifically Facebook or any specific platform that you're trying to. So this is just going from Ecamm on my computer straight over to YouTube through Ecamm Live. I don't need anything else to get it going. If I wanted to do where I'm streaming on Facebook and on YouTube or something like that, then I could, hook in the Restream, and then you're using what's called RTMP. And you're doing some other stuff, copying and pasting and all that other things, but I don't need to. It's just like you can just live stream straight through. So let's see here, saying I need video receipts, do a 24-hour post and delete. What do you mean 24 video receipts? Are you saying that you like do videos and you record them and then you get rid of them or something? I don't know. So let me know what you mean. Saying what? Tell me some really. It sounds like that's in reference to the Sony, but yes. Saying, I'm hoping Sony doesn't drop an A6700 or A7700 in October. My wallet can't take it. And that's why I just refuse to buy this ZV-1, because I'm looking at what they're coming out with potentially. And I'm just like, I'm not finna keep, having accountants look like, what are you doing? And it's just like, I can justify it because that's my profession. And then too, if I actually need it, not just like justifying, but actually need it. But this is like another camera that they have coming out. This A7C, it's supposed to be a full frame compact camera, around $2,300 or 2,300 euros, they're saying. So, they're saying it's supposed to be the same form factor in the body as the A6600 is, or whatever, pop up or pop out EVF or whatever. Still 4K 30. It'll have the full flip out screen like the A7S III. It'll still have the touch screen like the A7S III. Basically, a little A7 III in an A6600 body, but with the flip out screen like the ZV-1 and the touch screen and new menus like the A7S III. And they're saying that's supposed to be coming out mid-September. So sometime this month, they're saying that camera is supposed to be announced. I don't have time for Sony and these cameras. And I was looking at it like, oh man, it's like, what are y'all doing to me? It's like, so if I had bought the ZV-1, that's like $500 to $700 out the window. And then this other thing comes out, and then I already wanted another A6600. I was like, I'm not playing this game. Not playing this game. I don't need it. I was like, I will wait and see what happens, but more than likely, regardless as to what they come out with, because this kind of a flip screen and a new menu and touch, this is not enough for me to leave. It's not. Like, I don't really care about that. Is what we all wanted, but I'm plenty happy with what I have. I do wish it was but it's like, I'm not buying a whole other camera for that. So I'm just probably gonna get another A6600. Saying, dog, eye autofocus is amazing. I would make killer pics of my, or Taco Terrier. So that's what we'll say. But yeah, it's like that has animal eye autofocus. And so if I wanted to go and take pictures of my friend's dog, then I can do that, or the cat or whatever. And so like the animal eye autofocus that these Sony cameras have is just like brilliant. So, Sam, talking about you climbing into the truck, delete the video. Shoot, yeah, right. You ain't gonna catch me out here in these streets. It's like St. Louis don't solve crime anyway. You can get away with anything. It's just like, I don't even know why they file police reports. Nobody ever they never solve anything here. I've never once seen them say, hey, we found. It's usually somebody turned them in, or somebody told them where to go find the person. So it's like saying to stop the A7C, I need it. It's like, that's a brilliant camera. So it's just like, So let's go to the specs real quick just to further entice you all. Saying mid-September is coming out. It'll have the fully articulating screen like this A7S III that came out. The new autofocusing that's even more brilliant than what it already is. 4K 30 frames per second. The body shape of the A6600 with the EVF in the corner. It'll have the new amazing batteries like the A6600, USB Type-C, so we'll get more flexibility and capabilities there. Still a single card slot, but not that big of a deal, but a mic and a headphone jack, and the boosted Wi-Fi stuff, and all of that. So, and then a new kit lens that it's supposed to come out with. None of those things are more important than what I already have. Like, it'll be nice, and I know I'm going to be tempted, but I already know, like, when I pick up this A6600, it is my go-to, end-all, be-all, bee's knees Hall of Fame. Like, if there's a bee's knees Hall of Fame come this holiday season, the A6600 is already number one. Like, it doesn't matter. It wouldn't even matter what I tried. It's a brilliant camera, and it does everything that I want to, and then more. Like I said, the ability to record the camera, have internal audio, live streaming, hook it up with the battery lasts forever. Not for obviously forever, but a long gosh darn time. So you're not stuck with whatever. It's got the IBIS, even though that could use some work for Sony, which I think they did a great job in improving that. But it's not enough to say, like, it's not a significant jump. So that's what I was saying. Like, if I can't vlog with this, shame on me, for me to go out and vlog. I don't need to buy anything extra. Doc Rock got a birthday coming up at 9/12. Happy early birthday to you, my good sir. Saying, I feel like taking the ZV back. Do not be tempted. There is still a lot that this camera can do. They're just different cameras for different reasons. But if you only need one, then I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Saying, yeah, somebody stole a whole football team and they still haven't come. I don't even want to talk about the Rams right now. I don't even want to talk about the Rams. Go Cardinals, because that's what I can say to that. So I bought the ZV-1 mostly because of the product showcase, and I didn't want to buy a whole bunch of lenses. That makes sense then. If you're talking about buying the ZV-1 versus the A6400, and like the A6600, or sometimes it gets compared to the M50, which I've done a video. I sat down and I noted out and bullet pointed, like, because I was thinking, like, I got some Sony cameras in here now. Maybe let's compare the different ones, but it's really not that big of a difference. It's just like form factor, and do you want something that small because you'll never buy lenses or whatever. But just like, again, it's like for me to do that is not a hardship to me. So the product showcase mode, again, it's great, but for me personally, it's like, yeah, it's not enough. And then two, here's something that everybody keeps talking about. Oh, you can get a dummy battery. No, you really can't with these. And that's why I haven't talked about it, because like if you look on the bottom here, too close. Wait. All right, here we go. So you see this here. All right, so when you open the door, that little hole, where am I at? Where's my fingers? Over here. That little hole is inside still the door. So the battery, the dummy battery, can't fit through there for real. You know what I'm saying? Like for where that slot is, it doesn't make sense. It just won't work. So that's what I was saying. Like, there are dummy batteries. Block my face. There are dummy batteries for it, but it's just like it won't really work because it's over. Like, you know what I'm saying? So your tripod mount is not like they didn't put a little hinge or something for you to feed a cable through. So there's no way to mount it on a tripod and still put a dummy battery in there. Whereas if you look at, oh, this one's all in the cage and stuff. Let me take this out the cage real quick. If you look at the ones on the bottom of the any other cameras, hell, not even like the specific Sony ones. So let me take this out the cage and I'll show y'all what I mean. Because I saw some people was like, oh, what dummy battery should I get for the ZV-1? It's just like, use USB-C charging, because there really is no dummy battery that's going to work for you in that way, because it's not going to be able to mount it to the tripod. Whereas when you take the A6400, so you see this door opens up here and you can put the battery in here, but on the side here, they give you a little door so you can still feed a cable out. The ZV-1 doesn't have that. And furthermore, the thread on the bottom is made within the door. So it's almost impossible to put a dummy battery in there that's like from one of the RX100 cameras and still be able to charge your camera with the dummy battery and mount it on the tripod. And then the fact that, so these are things that I'm thinking about. Because again, it's like I wanted to test and try and see if I could find some kind of workaround. You would literally need something that is, goodness, it's like you would need something that's almost like a pen kind of a mount to sit it on like this with a dummy battery in, and then have it sit like it's sitting weirdly at that point to just be able to, you know what I'm saying, kind of mount. Like that's the only way I could think of. And then I was looking into equipment and I'm like, that's kind of overkill. I'm like, just use the USB-C if you're going to do that, kind of a deal. But you know, it's like there's nothing wrong with the ZV-1. It's just like as far as that dummy battery option though, that's the thing. But yeah, the product showcase and all that stuff is fine. You know, camera's amazing. I have no qualms with the ZV-1. It's just like I said, different strokes for different folks, different cameras for different use cases. Yeah, if you're not going to buy a whole bunch of lenses though, don't buy it. You know, don't buy a camera that needs, what is this camera now? Or it came out at what, $1,000, I think, the A6400. And you haven't even bought a lens yet. And if you get one, it comes with the kit lens. And you can do some amazing stuff with kit lenses, don't get me wrong. And then the camera sensor itself is great, but at the same time, it's kind of like, you know, most people aren't going to, you know what I'm saying, if you're going to get something like this and you're not going to do all the things I talked about like the A6600 can do, ZV-1 is perfectly fine. So that's what I was saying. I just think these are two different machines, so to speak. And then, all right, so as far as everything else, as far as the camera related stuff, that's the only thing. ZV-1 against an interchangeable lens camera is more or less if you would have had to have bought something like an M50 or whatever, and you only plan to keep the kit lens on it, you're not losing anything by getting the ZV-1 or any of the other Sony cameras for that matter. If you are not planning to buy lenses and, you know, expand it out over time, or you don't need some, like the ZV-1 is plenty fine when it comes in regards to that. VSG Life saying, I feel like taking the ZV-1 back. Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing. Saying, you really got the best cameras, Diana. You good? You know, you need different tools for different jobs. It's just like why you have multiple shoes. Yes, a good pair of Nikes can get you a long way, but that's why you have heels and you have flip-flops and you have, you know, so I'm just acquiring shoes that do a specific job. And some shoes are more expensive. You know, some you could have got in Foot Locker back in the day, like the 2 for $89.99. Okay. So I'm just acquiring shoes for different things. That's all. But my work only requires me to have really about 3 cameras. So the fact that I have 2 is kind of like I'm trying to think of the third option kind of a thing. And then 2, something like this is more for me. This literally would be to do reviews and comparisons on the channel with. And then it's like if I did that, I could use it if I'm going on the shoot like I did in Washington, and I think I'm going to be going out of town again. It's like for to do some work and then to travel for myself. It's like if I was getting ready to take a bunch of equipment, I do not want to unpack my gear for the shoot or be, you know what I'm saying, kind of trying to do that. So I would need a third one anyway. The matter of fact, if I got this one, it would just be to fill in the gap of I don't have to, you know, I can just do whatever. So I saw the need for this when I was in Washington. And if anybody's curious, A6400 ZV-1, it ain't that big of a difference. They're okay. So, not that big of a difference between the two. So, you know, just different strokes, different folks, different shoes for different events and occasions, okay? While you all are laughing in the chat. So I would imagine that y'all don't have any more questions and things like that. So in that case, we're going to wrap up the stream. in regards to this Friday live helpcast. Since y'all just want to talk and laugh about bodies in the trunk and the cameras and things that I need for my legit work. Hope you guys enjoyed it yourself today. Hope you got some value out of today's stream. And if you are here from the replay, thanks for your time and your attention through all of the wonderful foolishness and goodness. If you are new here and you stuck around this long, you probably already hit the subscribe button. So welcome to the community. If you're live right now, I'm going to head over to Ecamm Live's community, do some office hours, which is very similar to this, but we're going to be doing some giveaways for some Ecamm Live merch. So with that, guys, with passion, I'll see you in the next video.